Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Persona 3 FES. In the last episode, we witnessed when Akihiko first met Mitsuru and became one of the very first FES operatives, with Shinjiro joining directly after his recruitment due to him wanting to follow his friend to the bitter end, and also set in stone the end of a true dynamic duo due to the things that followed afterwards, which went into our main story. So, with that being said, we will be heading into the next of the Desert of Doors, and getting ourselves further and further into the Abyss of Time. So, with that being said, we're now going to be heading into Antinorum, also known as the fourth of the Abyss of Time.
This will be the fourth door. Are you ready?
I think we are. So, with that, let's make our way into the fourth of 7, Desert of doors, I guess you can call them. Honestly, I would rather call them blocks, since that's what I'm kind of used to at this point, but let's do this.
Let me scan the lower floors. This one seems very long. I can't tell how deep it goes, but I can sense a faint presence from below. It's very powerful. Make sure to pace yourselves as you move forward.
Okay, and with that said, I believe we are ready. We actually do have a new persona now. Or technically new, but we did use it previously in the original story when we did the journey. So yeah, we're definitely got something to work with, since we have Megiddo, we have Blade of Fury, we have Memudon again. Honestly, I really like Chernobog, so honestly I thought it would be good. Okay, so due to the fact that he is feared, and that ended up being good, but due to enemies being feared, you always have a good chance of getting a crit when you auto, so it's just better off doing that. So thankfully that ended up being what that thing's weak to, so now we know that for sure now, which is actually really good. But that was actually lucky that didn't like bounce back into me, because honestly it could have easily done so. And honestly, I think I'm getting better and better at using the long range that Aegis comes with, because originally I didn't really get too used to it, and now that we've gotten further and further into the game, I've been getting more and more used to it, and it's actually really cool that I actually like the actual extra range of it, due to the fact that it actually lets you snipe shadows from long range, and they don't even get a chance to even think about getting the upper hand on you. But yeah, definitely a nice little ability at the end of the day. And it seems like the areas are getting actually a lot bigger than they previously were. Might as well see what the savage enemies are for this area. Missed 3 times, but you know what, it's fine. But okay, so these are our savage enemies for this area. Okay, due to the fact that we do have Mamadune, we might as well test this out, see if they reflect it or are weak to it. Okay, they block it. Good to know, because that actually helps us out in the future. Okay, now we just test for this to just see what these guys are weak to, since we never really run into these every now and again, so it's good to actually see what these guys are weak to every now and again, because sometimes we don't know and sometimes we do, because of the fact that sometimes it's just impossible to guess some of these enemies. So, okay, so far so good. These guys don't seem too bad, but we are a little bit higher level than them, since we have the ability to train before doing each and every floor of these areas, since they let you go into the old doors without, going into the story, which is really good. So, honestly, I'm actually really happy about that, because that was something we weren't really able to do in the previous, story when it came to the journey. We couldn't really train in between, because how we did it, we had the, I wanted to always work on story and not have to do Tartarus-based episodes, so I had to do it on my own in between, and I felt like it was a little bit, because you get less experience, the earlier blocks, so you lose out on experience the further and further, you go and train in between areas, so it's really nice that they actually give you, proper experience gain areas in between. Although it is all, basically Tartarus stuff at the end of the day, it is a little bit more, safer, I guess you can say, because you don't have to worry about, your characters getting tired or anything like that, so you basically get like a free chime to just train whenever you need to, which is really nice. Although it is harder than the original story than I'm still used to. It is nice that we've gotten to a point where I feel like I'm at least in a good spot where I don't have to worry about things as much, because the whole problem was that I wasn't ready for hard mode yet, to be honest. And honestly, I don't play hard games on my own, to be honest, so it's nice to see that I'm actually getting more and more used to the harder difficulty of this game now that we're farther and farther into it, which is nice. Okay, so honestly, Megiddo seems just like a safe idea here, although we are using a lot of SP up when we use it, and that can bite me in the butt later. It's just nice that we actually have almighty damage, because, yeah, I'm not testing for weaknesses at this point, because you have to wait a couple turns just to get the weakness check, and you don't, unlike in Persona 5 and 4, where if you use an ability, it saves it, it doesn't do that in this game, so it's like, I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna throw this ability and hope it works at this point, because it's easier to just throw out Megiddo than have Fuka wait a turn and try and figure out the enemy's weakness, because I'm honestly sure that you guys don't want to watch me, like, constantly wait a turn to see what Fuka says, and then start working on weaknesses, when we can just go Megiddo, do almighty damage, although we don't get boosts from it or amps, which I think you can in 5 for Royal, which I haven't gotten to that point, but I think I saw that before. I swear, some of these enemies run around like madmen. Okay, I'm just gonna forget about these two, because they're not even letting me even have a chance. The gun's hard to shoot on enemies that run away like that, unlike with the saber that we were using throughout the entirety of the journey, which is nice, but that we have the extra range is just almost impossible to actually catch running targets, which is very unfortunate. But other than that, it's pretty much all goods and bads, because at least with the saber, I felt like I missed at least a couple times when things ran at us, but when it comes to enemies running towards you, it's actually really, really easy to use Aegis. And then it's vice versa for enemies running away from you. It would be the saber that you could use with Makoto, which was his main starting weapon, which you can obviously change at any point, but I honestly felt like the saber was the best when it came to the journey, since you didn't have access to the guns that Aegis did, because you didn't play as Aegis in the journey, you played as Makoto, and Aegis is literally the only character that can use the guns. So honestly, it would have been nice to test it out beforehand, because I honestly think I would have used the gun in the entire story if I would have had the chance to actually use any type of weapon. Because I can say one thing, I actually do like the way it actually works, because being able to snipe the enemies is actually a little bit nicer. But if I was like at a point where enemies were running away from me, I would swap back to the saber almost immediately, I think. Because, yeah, it's definitely nice, because then you don't get the enemies don't get to take advantage of you as often, which is good, because that's the only problem when it comes to this this game mode, is due to the fact that the enemies are much stronger. You do have to worry about getting the enemies getting the advantage when they can get it, because they are much more aggressive. But yeah, definitely something you have to worry about. But with that, we're now on the 5th floor, and like we did with every other area so far for the Abyss of Time, this will be where we get ready to hunt for the first boss, or wherever this place ends, because, I don't know, I'm not even sure if every single area has a boss, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure every area will, and I think we're going to be fighting 2 to 3 from now on, because of the fact that we fought 2 in the last one. But, yeah, we're definitely getting closer to at least the next boss fight for sure.
You're getting closer to the powerful enemy I sensed before you. Be careful.
Okay, and with Fuka saying that, that means we're getting close to our first boss fight, so I'm gonna say it's probably in like 3 floors from here. So, with that being said, I'll see you all on our very first boss fight of the Antinora block, or door, or Abyss of Time, whatever you want to call it. But with that, I'll see you guys very, very shortly. Okay, into the 9th floor. Let's jump down the hole and see what we're getting ourselves into.
I can sense a powerful presence below. Are you ready?
And I think we are. So, let's deal with our very first boss, since every single time we get to one of these areas, it's for sure a boss fight. So, looks like we got a ice-based enemy, a fire-based enemy, and an electric-based enemy. Okay, so this should be pretty easy to figure out.
I know you can do this if you try.
Okay, and with that, let's see how the first one goes. And if you're wondering, no Makoto or Spook sighting yet, since it seems like the final one you run into for these areas seem to be where you see him, which is something I noticed, because in the last one, we didn't see him until we actually got to the second half of that area, which was interesting. Okay, so due to the fact that we do have the ability to get rid of their attack or increase our attack or decrease their defense, let's just do that right away. So let's increase our attack since we know that Akihiko can decrease their defense for us now. So we'll be pretty much ready and set for this fight almost immediately. Okay, so Mind Charge for you, and then we'll have, I almost said Aegis, but we'll have Menace go into her origin mode real quick, just so she's ready and set out of the box, since sometimes I forget to do it and sometimes I don't. But I think we're pretty much ready now. Okay, and then Marakunda to drop all their defenses. Although this is all just stat boosting and decreasing at the first turn, it's honestly pretty safe to do so. Okay, Tetrafew. Okay, Akihiko got that, but that's not too bad since he already acted this turn, so we're pretty much fine from there. Okay, here comes Origin Mode. Thankfully, that's pretty good for us. And since we don't have to worry about SP or HP gains anymore, we can go straight into the Power Charge for completely free, which is always nice. Okay, so far so good. Now we can actually go into the damage dealing part. Okay, into Chernobog, since that's honestly the safest option here. Honestly, I think we should probably get rid of the weakness that Akihiko has at the moment. I do think I have the regular Partra gems, which I do, thankfully. So let's throw that onto him so he's no longer confused, so we don't have to worry about that, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so due to the fact that the enemies on boss fights have evade skills, we're just going to go Mabufala here just because it's safer, because then we're for sure at least hitting something on the field. And that thing almost went down, which is really good. Okay, I'll take that. Okay, due to this guy having electricity coming off his weapon, I'm going to say that's probably not the best thing to hit him with. But we can do... Let's see if he takes physical damage. He might. It's worth a shot, honestly. Okay, one goes down. That's good. Now we just got to deal with the ice type and the fire type. Sadly, Akihiko is weak to the ice type, but... And we also have a weakness to fire, but that doesn't really matter because of the fact that Mitsuru just got back up and... Or not Mitsuru, but Akihiko got back up. If you're wondering why I'm a little bit, like, out of it a little bit, it's because it's been a couple days. My stepdad just got back from his trip, so I wanted to give him a couple rest days to kind of get him back into the loop of sleeping, because I didn't want to accidentally wake him up on his days that he first got back home, so honestly, that's why I took a little break there. But let's see here, Ice Raven or Brave Wheel. Well, we do have ice abilities on her. We can test to see if he even has that, but I'm going to say he probably does. He does have Evade Ice. Okay, so it's not going to be easy at all to even hit that, because that's going to be like triple dodge on ice-based attacks, even though he's weak to it, which is really, really unfortunate. And let's test to see if they're weak to slashing. One of them is. That works. Okay, one got critted and now he's on the floor. Now he doesn't get a turn to attack, which is good for us. Now we get to test out things. Okay. I'm going to say let's focus on one of them. That's honestly the safest option here. And honestly, heavy damage from Akihiko is just strong in general, so it's just safe in general to go for that. Okay, strike attack, missed completely, and he also lost his attack, which is also good. Okay, I think because he's down, he can't actually dodge. So let's actually go for a Bufala here, because that's actually a good idea. So let's see. Yep, there he goes. Can't dodge that when you're down on the floor, bud. Works for me. Okay, and now we just gotta go for him. And since this has high crit, it's honestly just worth it to just go for it. And there we go. And one all-out attack is definitely gonna be ending this. The enemy is down. Let's finish this. Yep, let's definitely finish it. And down goes the first boss fight of this area. If it's... Honestly, I think there's gonna be two since we haven't seen Makoto yet, so I honestly think we'll be doing another one of these, or Makotos or Spooks. Honestly, I call them both because some people might not even have came from the journey, to be honest, because some people just look to see the content of the answer, because some people don't want to actually go through the answer, because, as I tell you, it is a fun thing, but for a casual player to just play it, I don't think they would have as much fun with it, I think. I'm just going to be completely honest. And just to test a theory of mine, I'm going to see if you don't touch a door here and just pass it, if it shows up later, because that would be a good thing to test out for later, because that's actually something I do wonder. So I guess we'll find out, because that is something I haven't tested and I haven't actually looked up to see if that's actually a thing. So I guess doing some actual field testing is actually a good thing here. I guess we'll find out. Hopefully it does work, though.
It looks like you still have a long way to go. Aegis, if you feel it's too dangerous, please don't push yourself. Come back to the lounge.
Nah, I think we'll be fine, Fukum. But with that, I'll see you all at our next location, since we know that we're more than likely going to be fighting off with another boss, and since this is how we've been doing the Abyss of Time recently. So, honestly, I'll see you guys very shortly once we get to our next area. Okay, now that we're on the 19th floor, it looks like we have another fight on our hands, so let's jump down the hole and get ready to fight whatever we're about to fight. So, I think we're ready for this, so let's just jump on down and get ourselves into what we're doing. And if you're wondering, yes, there was another spawning of Makoto, but as we already know, we're going to be seeing him during one of these cutscenes, since that seems to be the case for all of them, since that's how it's been every single time. So I'm pretty sure I didn't have to worry about that, since Fuka says basically the same thing every time you run into him. So, let's see what's going on.
Shadows confirmed. That figure over there, he doesn't seem to have any intention on attacking us.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't. And that's definitely us, but not us at the same time. That is weird.
Anyway, from now on, concentrate on the shadows ahead. Here they come.
Yep, here they come indeed. But it is leaving shadows as of what we can tell, which is really, really weird. I don't think it is us, and I do think it's like an alternate version of us, like, with the, shadows, like shadows of yourself in Persona 4 and 5, where you have alternate forms of yourself inside yourself. That's what I honestly think of what it is. But I honestly don't know, because we've never been able to actually confront it, because it's always running from us. So yeah, it's definitely strange, but I think we'll eventually be able to corner it at some point, maybe. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say eventually we will be able to at least, like, get in close with it. I don't know if it's gonna be friendly at all, because it doesn't seem like it's friendly because it's running from us, but who honestly knows at the end of the point when it comes to that. But I do think it's, I don't know if it's for sure aggressive or not, but I do feel like it's, definitely something we do need to worry about. And I completely forgot about putting her in Origin mode. I guess we'll do that now. We don't really need it right away, since 15 SP is not that much of a problem. The only time when I really need Origin mode is when she's actually in her attack stance already, and already has power charge already up, because it gives us more turns to actually use the power charge. And of course, I ended up getting hit by Mabufu there, Mabufula, or whatever you want to call it, but definitely interesting. Okay, so far it doesn't seem too dangerous, like, unlike all the other ones we fought, because these guys don't seem scary, or at least yet, I guess. Okay, so since I have null piercing on myself, I'm actually able to use Deathbound here safely, which is good, because it gives us a crit chance, and also that was a lot of damage. Okay, this actually might be the easiest fight we've actually had in the Abyss of Time, which is interesting, because usually the fights aren't actually easy at all, so that's actually pretty interesting. Okay, Infuriates, everyone's now attacking normally, which is, I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but honestly, I'm gonna just be careful there and say we should probably turn that off immediately. Oh, it's Anger, I forgot, so I don't have the specific, like, freebie where I can do it to everybody, but we can at least get rid of one of the rages, which is important. Aegis doesn't need to be on that, so just in case, we'll be careful there. Ooh, Akihiko ended up taking some damage there. Okay, but yeah, I think this will be better if we do it this way, because as long as I can attack with Aegis, I'm honestly feel like it's a little bit safer. and it ended up being perfect anyways. Cool. See, I told you, we don't need to get rid of everyone's anger, just the person that actually needs it. So honestly, I'll take that. And cool, level 68. We also get Invigorate. I don't think I really need that, honestly, because I haven't had any, like, major SP problems, because of the fact that I can also use physical skills and not have to worry about hitting myself with it. So honestly, I don't think I need the Invigorate, honestly, but maybe in the future, maybe, but other than that, I really don't think I'll need that. But it's a nice gesture, thank you, game. But, definitely the easiest fight I've actually done in the Abyss of Time, honestly. Definitely a nice thing, honestly, but with that being said, usually there is an item here. I completely forgot about the last one, but honestly, might as well grab some freebies. We can grab those later when we leave the dungeon and come back, because thankfully those items will stay. So it is nice that those actually will stay for later when we actually come back to that area that I actually forgot on.
I pinpointed that black shadow. Hang on. It's moving down to the lower floors. If it keeps going at this rate, it may shake us off. Please hurry and catch it.
And I'm just gonna say this now, there's no way that it actually shakes us off if we go too slow, because literally that would be a limitation of the PS3, or not PS3, but PS2 at the time, so I'm just gonna say this now, we can literally take as many time as we want, honestly. But with that, I'll see you all when we get to either another boss fight or the end of this area. So, with that, BRB, boys and girls. Okay, now that we're on the 25th floor, we're actually now at the end of the Achinora block. So, let's see what's going on here, since we now have another one of these little Abyss of Time doors. Or, honestly, memories based on what we've seen. So, let's see what we're getting ourselves into with this one.
It's a dead end. That black shadow is just here. I'm sorry, but I lost the black shadow again. Well, head over there now. Why don't you see if you can find anything else?
Okay, with that being said, let's check out the next, door of time, I guess you can call it, and see what we're getting ourselves into, since, honestly, I don't honestly know what it looks like Junpei this time. So this is Junpei's past, then. Okay. Still unknown on the time, so we don't know when this was, but we might be able to tell based on whatever he says.
Stupid old man. How low do you have to be to get drunk on cooking wine?
Cooking wine, you say? Hey, is that Koromaru? That definitely looks like him. I haven't seen any other, like, white Shiba Inus in this area, so they definitely could be Koro. So that's cool.
But I guess it's just it is just as pathetic, to rush out like this every day. Man, what am I gonna do? I got nowhere to go.
Poor Junpei. So he must be talking about his family then.
Yo, sup, Pooch? Here to join my nowhere to go after school club?
So, yeah, this is definitely before the events then, because he doesn't know who this dog is. And I'm pretty sure it's Koro due to the fact that it's literally Koro due to the fact that it literally has the same model, and they wouldn't just give a random dog Koro's model. So, that's cool. So he ended up meeting Koro before the journey even started then, if that's the case, because it doesn't seem like he's in Seas yet. So that means it would be before the journey then. So that's pretty cool. Arf arf.
Sorry, Pooch. I don't have any food for you. You know haven't I seen you here before?
Probably. Aw, that's still cool to see Koro, though, and Junpei bonding, since the only time we really got to see that was a little bit during the main story, and then you had, where they both went out searching for food, which they ended up failing because we ended up finding it for this story, which is kind of funny. Hey, it's Junpei. Former classmates.
Oh, hey guys.
Why the long face? Are you that sad that we're in different homerooms now?
Still dumb as rocks, huh? Wait, isn't it way past your dorm curfew? What are you guys doing out here so late?
Oh, we stuck out. When you get to be a junior, you learn the secret exits. Hey, we're going to Escapade. Wanna come with us? We're helping this guy drown his sorrows over a girl. That's not true. Don't let it get to you. That's what you get for going after someone like Yukari Takaba. Really, it was Yukari, of all people. That's actually kind of funny. Although I never expected her to hook up with the new transfer students. I guess she goes for that kind of dark side of his. Oh, they're talking about Spooks. Hey, look at that. We actually ended up making it into the story, even though we're a Black Shadow or whatever's going on with that. But that's actually pretty interesting, since we really haven't heard our character be brought up other than they were kind of like trying to stray away from saying our character, honestly, for the most of it, because they're pretty sad about our passing. But it's still cool to actually hear our character be brought up in the story every now and again.
Dark. He seemed like a regular dude to me.
Yep, and he was a regular dude. He just wanted to have a nice, honest, fun time, honestly, based on what we played him as. No, I'm serious. That transfer kid, rumor has it, both his parents died when he was little. Someone got a peek at his file when Terumi left it lying around. Huh, that's actually interesting. We never heard anything about other people knowing that. So it's interesting.
Man, you're so gullible. That stuff only happens in soap operas.
Hey, I said it was a rumor. Come on, let's get going. You snooze, no booze. Huh? Okay.
Booze. I think I'm gonna pass.
Huh? What's the matter? Come on, why don't you live a little? I don't think he wants to do that after, what we just heard him talking about. Someone in his family getting drunk on cooking wine and then he left because of that. Don't know if it was anything like aggressive alcoholic or whatever's going on there. Didn't we hear a little bit about this during the main story? Something about his dad or something being an alcoholic, like, for 1 second during one of the conversations near the end of the game. So this must be what he's talking about then. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even really think about that until now. Huh. So we can put both pieces of the pie together and we actually find out who he's talking about. Huh. Okay, then.
I said I'm gonna pass. I just ain't in the mood.
Yeah, you're not gonna get his attention, dudes, like that. Well, man, looks like I'm the only one you got to console you. I keep telling you, nothing happened. Huh. Yeah, sure. Okay, that was strange, but at least we got to learn a little bit more about Junpei a little bit. So, now what, Junpei?
They offered to hang out, and I turned them down. Things never go the way I want them to.
Well, seems that way, bud. And poor Koro is whimpering.
Man, is my life really as bad as it seems right now? I wish there was, something I could do to change the world. Some awesome skill that no one else has.
Which he ended up getting. So this was before everything, and that proves it. Interesting. So this was, because the rumor was that people thought me, our main character, and Yukari were dating because Yukari took him to school. And so this has to be, the first day of the adventure at nighttime, right then. So we didn't get our ability until the second day, I believe. Wait, no. Oh, no. Wait. I'm trying to remember, it's been so long. I think it's because, no, it was because the first, the first day we did do that. So yeah, this has to be the first night. So, yeah, then it would mean that we awakened our persona the same night that this is happening. Okay, yeah, I had to think about it a little bit, because I kind of forgot it because it's been a long time, but this means this took place in around, I think we started our adventure in, April. Yeah, we started the adventure in April, near, the 25th, so that's about this time right here. So we can kind of pinpoint the location even though it says unknown.
Don't give me that. I'm sure someday we can make, some real friends that'll listen to us.
And that indeed does happen for Koru, since Aegis actually could read his mind. But, not anymore, which is weird. But Menace actually can do that now, which is interesting. But that is kind of weird that Aegis can't do that, though, at the end of the day, because, she was able to do that through the entire story, so it's weird that she doesn't get that ability anymore, just because she opened up the wild card. It's like it took out all of her robotic features, like her origin mode and everything else like that, and then Menace turned into Aegis, basically, which was weird. Which is cool, though. I like the fact that we still kept an Aegis-like character, but it's weird that, they completely got rid of Aegis's abilities, because that's like the whole point of Aegis for battle was her origin mode. So it's kind of weird to not have that ability anymore.
All these scenes in my past, and you guys had to see that one.
Yep, had to see that one. But it wasn't that bad.
Junpei.
Arf.
Dude, I know. I was surprised to see you too. So you were the dog from that day.
Arf. Yep, seems to be the case.
Makes it seem kind of like destiny.
Yeah, it does. Arf. Just Koro just barking at Junpei, even though we don't understand anything he's saying. Which is sad, because, I kind of hope that they would put it in parentheses what Koro is saying, and we can actually hear what he says when we were playing as Aegis, but it doesn't seem to like the case that we're ever going to be able to see what Koro ever has said. We can kind of tell what he's thinking, in a way, but we can't tell what he's actually saying anymore, which is weird.
Looking back, that was the day Akihiko-san found me. The only place I could go from there was this convenience store, and that's where I was when the dark hour hits.
Yep, that's indeed it, and that's when Akihiko started running towards the dorm with the shadow following behind him, because he was able to, help out Junpei getting out of there based on what we could tell, because we never heard the true story to that, and it seems like we might get a little bit more information on it.
You were bawling in the dark, with that awful expression. Honestly, you look worse in the shadows.
Well, what was I supposed to do? That was the scariest damn moment of my life, man.
Poor Junpei's getting laughed at.
But I had other stuff to deal with, like my old man. So staying at the dorm and fighting shadows and all that stuff looked pretty good.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like it's better. So it's interesting that, that's how Junpei ended up joining, was because everything else seemed like a better option than staying home. Which is kind of sad in a way if you think about it, but he ended up making friends for life, honestly, at the end of the day, so I think it was honestly a better, way for him to go, honestly, at the end of the day.
I see. Unlike me and my sister, other people usually have reasons to awaken. I comprehend.
The little yes nod that she does. I still like that. I had my reasons as well. However, in my case, and it happens in reverse, I had the power first, and gained a reason later. Now that I mention it, Your what?
I think I'm starting to get that.
What do you mean?
There's a reason we see what we see inside the doors. Doors that have delivered on the reasons. That reason disappeared, and those with roles still to play, remain.
Still have a role to play? What is that supposed to mean? A reason? What kind of reason?
I can't say for sure, but if we keep moving forward, I think we'll start seeing it. Let's do our best, sister.
Okay, yeah, of course. You're right. I guess. So everyone here still has a role to play then, that wasn't fulfilled in the main journey. Interesting. Until then, it hadn't even occurred to me, to wonder about it. She's so full of emotion, nothing like me, when I woken up in July, but she'd never had any chance to come into contact with others. Was there a moment when she discovered her emotions, as I did? The seed of my curiosity was planted, as I began to wonder. Oh, so she's kind of working in a reverse version of Aegis then, because she awakened to her emotions first. Or she already had the... Actually, her persona might be fully awakened too, because I don't know what else that thing can turn into. So maybe, yeah, it is a fully reverse version, because it took Aegis to, she didn't get her emotions yet until the end of the game. And Metis here has her emotions at the beginning, before we ever met her, which is interesting. And she also has her persona probably maxed out to the brim, because I don't think they would just randomly change her persona due to the fact that she's the way she is. So it is interesting. You decided to return to the lounge. Okay, that's back to the dorm we go. and that means we're done with another one of ththose doors.
Oh, Aegis, by the way, you've encountered a human-like figure during the investigation, haven't you? Since you've seen it in person, can you describe it to me? All I can do is tell you through Juno was that it seemed human. That's impossible. There's no way anyone but us could be down there.
But we do keep running into it. Anyways, we're heading for the deepest part of the abyss. Once we corner it, we'll get the truth.
Yeah, hopefully.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go indeed. But that will be in the next episode, since we do each door in their own episode. So, let's check out everyone's thoughts on what just happened, and then we'll end off today's episode.
My dad's gotten better than he was back then, but he still falls off the wagon now and then. But you know, he's not dead, so I don't really have it as bad as everyone else. Don't worry about me, man. I mean, back then, was nothing compared to the hot water I'm in right now. Yet another reason to put me, the Greek Junpei Yori on your team. I'll pull you out of any jam, no matter how bad it gets. Especially if you're worried about fire attacks, just call for good old Junpei the Fireman.
Junpei the Fireman. That's the first time I've ever heard you call yourself that, but honestly, I would have called you the Blazing Phoenix due to the fact that you died and came back and literally resurrected from the flames, basically, because you changed into a completely different person. But I guess we can call you Junpei the Fireman if you really want that to be your name. Honestly, I think the other one sounds cooler.
Now that I think about it, are the people outside the dorm really okay? Things happen so fast, but lately, I've been worried since I heard about Junpei Kyun's family. I wonder if my mom and dad are alright.
I think they are, honestly. But, yeah, I think we're fine. Everyone else is just going back in time and repeating the day, so nothing bad is happening to anybody, I think. But, honestly, when it comes to us, I think we're definitely in very, very hot water due to the fact that anything could happen to us. But everyone else out there seems to be pretty much in like a loop, and they don't have to really worry about anything. They never progress in life, but we'll eventually be able to help them, because we gotta be able to stop the loop, of course, right? So, I think we'll be fine when it comes to that, but it is interesting, though.
Junpei-san never shows any signs of weakness, unless he's really in pain. It's actually been comforting on several occasions. The usual Junpei-san is, well, he's better at comic relief.
True, he definitely is a comic relief. He's literally the class clown, and that literally says it in his card when you go to the C's operative for the full arc on him. You can actually scroll down to Junpei, and it gives a small basic summary of him, and it literally calls him the class clown. And honestly, you can call him that just from how he acts in general in the story, so it's kind of funny.
An alcoholic dad. It's not that I sympathize with Junpei, but I do understand how awful it feels to have parents like that.
Your mom was never a bad person, and we know that from your social link, so I'm surprised you still think that, Yukari. I'm gonna just say, you don't know what you're talking about at this point, because based on what we know for Yukari, we saw her entire social link, and even she said at the end of her social link that her mom wasn't that bad, and she just wanted to move on. And Yukari still seems to have completely reversed from who she was, because, yeah, it seems like she didn't learn anything from the entire story, it seems, which is very unfortunate, because she actually learned that maybe it's okay for her mom to move on, and that she should move on as well. But it's sad that she kind of reverted back, because, you know, that was like a lot of growth for Yukari through that social link. So it's kind of unfortunate that it kind of, like, majorly reverted.
Thinking back, it was one hell of a coincidence and I found Junpei when I did. If I had been out that night on the patrol, he might have never joined C's. I know it sounds weird to hear this from me, but it was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime chance.
Yeah, true. Well, what about you, Mitsuru?
We've seen Amada's, Akihiko's, and now Iori's past. If I had to identify a common thread, all the scenes were set further in the past in the last year's battle. What does this all mean? Let me know if you figure anything out yourself. By the way, are you using support skills to your advantage? My persona in particular knows a number of them. The first of them is Mind Charge. It doubles the effect of magic attacks once.
Nexus Spirit Jane, which steals the enemy's SP for your own use, which is a terrible move, and literally, yeah, it's not useful at all. But, yeah, thanks, for telling us about Spirit Drain. Finally, there's Tetrafu, which confuses all enemies, rendering them incapable of using skills, and so on and so forth. If you're interested in fighting strategically, leave it to me. Okay, we'll definitely do that. Thank you for telling us how your abilities work, even though we kind of know that because we've gotten this far in general, and also, this is after the main story, and you usually don't play this before the main story, so thanks, I guess? I honestly don't know how to feel about that.
The one named Koromaru-san is more reliable than he looks. His loyalty surprised me when I talked to him a moment ago.
You can understand him? What did he say? I kind of understood that she probably could because of the fact that she has all Aegis' abilities, so I honestly thought she could talk to him, even though she never said that. If you're wondering why I said that earlier, I just kind of assumed it because every single thing that Aegis could do is what Metis can do, so I kind of honestly thought that, but I'm honestly not even surprised she could, but, what did he say? Or you can understand him. What did he say?
He said it's his duty to cheer people up when they feel down. He's also said that Cerberus is good with fire and leaves fire attacks to him. But he said that you can understand him too, though.
Indeed. It is really weird that we don't have that ability anymore. It is really, really strange. I have a feeling it's something to do with, all the armor that the, SEES members put on us, and it may be kind of completely negated some of our robotic abilities, or even the fact that Menace attacked us in general, and ended up breaking core circuitry for that kind of stuff. So honestly, it's kind of weird, everything that goes on with that, since we don't have an honest answer to what really happened there. I wish it was kind of more explained, because it didn't really explain it at all. Maybe it will at some point, but it is weird. But, with that being said, that will be the end of today's episode, leaving us with more questions and answers. But, we are getting closer and closer to the final few doors. So, with that being said, I'll see you all in the 5th door of the Abyss of Time, and we'll be getting into our next story in the next episode. So with that, thank you all for watching, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out. Hey boys and girls, thank you all for watching today's episode. If you liked what you saw today, please leave a like and maybe even subscribe. And hit the bell notification down below. If you guys have any kind of suggestions for games, please put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you all for watching today's episode, and keep being spooky. Peace out, guys.